are a cyclist, the end of summer means one thing and one thing only, and that's back in the cave for indoor training. But I have a problem. This is the indoor trainer I've been using since 2018, and when I went for my first indoor training this season, I realized that it's broken. So I got myself a new Atom Wattbike. The Atom Next Gen is a breeze to set up, and altogether it took me less than 30 minutes to have my bike up and running. The bike comes pretty much fully assembled. All one has to do is put the aero bar and elbow pads on with a few Allen screws, set up the bike to fit you by adjusting the saddle, the seat, the stem, and the bars to your liking, download the app on your tablet or your smartphone, plug in the power adapter, and you are good to go. The first thing you will notice once you finish putting together your Atom Wattbike is what a great looking bike that is. At least I think so. It almost looked like, well, a space bike.
Switching to manual flight control.
The second thing you will notice is how compact its footprint is. It takes much less space than any previous trainers I have ever owned. If it weren't for the aero bar and the very convenient iPad holder, which seem to extend forever and are always in the way when moving the bike around. There are things I really like about riding my Atom Wattbike and things which, well, I don't like so much and which I would like to see improved. In the I like category, I put first comfort. This is the most comfortable bike I have ever ridden, period. I think it is due to a mix of how precisely you can adjust the fit on this bike, thanks to the beautifully etched millimeter markers combined with a great saddle. I can ride this bike forever. Second, I put stability. This is a very stable and sturdy platform. I have never felt any flex with the frame nor the chassis, no matter how hard I rode. Very nice. In third, I put the feel. Even though there are things I don't like about the feel of this bike, and we will discuss those next, it does feel like a real bike overall, more so, for example, than the Kettler RS I used to use. In fourth, I put riding position. With the Atom Wattbike, you can really work on your various riding position, whether it's riding on the hoods, in the drops, or using the aero bars. In the need improvement category, I put crank feel first. Resistance in the Wattbike is provided by electromagnets with a chain drive connecting the crank to the magnetic mechanism. As a result, there is an undeniably mechanical feel through the crank, along with a bit of vibration through the pedals. Some will say that this gives the bike a more of a real bike feel, but personally I would prefer a smoother pedaling feel. Second is the noise. The Atom Wattbike is noticeably louder than my Kettler RS. It's nothing that makes the bike uncomfortably loud, but it is a bit louder than I would like it to be. You be the judge. Third are the shifters. They are made up of two rubberized buttons located at the front of the hood. I would have preferred levers to buttons and a bit more feedback as to when the gear is engaged. Those buttons simply don't feel at all like gear shifters you would find on a real bike. They're not bad, but they're just okay. Lastly, I need to talk a little about the location of the power button. It is found underneath the bike, all the way to the back. You can see it, and every time you want to turn the bike on or off, you have to bend uncomfortably over and fumble blindly with your fingers to find the power button. Eventually, you get used to it, but it's just annoying. And why does it have to be underneath the bike where you can't see it? Wattbike has its own app called the Wattbike Hub. You can use it for configuration of a handful of settings, including the gearing, which give you a choice between 11 speed or 22 speed, firmware updates, as well as pairing the shifters if they have to be changed. You can also use that app to complete training sessions and run through structured workout, and it's all free. My only complaint with the app is the inability to customize the gearing to replicate the SRAM 24 speed on my BMC team machine, for example. Moreover, there is no concept of a front chainring on the Wattbike. The shifting is done one gear at a time in linear fashion, but that is not a big deal for me. It doesn't bother me not to have to worry about a front derailleur. Actually, I kinda like it. When it's all said and done, what is my take on the Atom Wattbike? It is a good indoor trainer, and I do enjoy and even look forward to riding it. But to be a great piece of training equipment, it needs a little more refinement, like a smoother and quieter crank and pedal feel, shifters which feel more like a real bike, and an app that allows for more customization of the drivetrain. Take good care, everyone. I'll see you in my next video.